You're nervous?
I'm like this bit nervous.
Like you have a little bit, because this happens to me every single time. Even when I was filming, I get like this. Right. It's like it's like an overwhelming like flutter around my body.
You spent, what was it, like a month in front of cameras, and I don't do that. I've never done that.
Yeah, I know. It is interesting, right? Because you're the extrovert and I'm the introvert, and yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
I am proud of us. So.
This is exciting. It's cool. It's going to be good.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get in it.
Welcome to the Queer Social, where we talk about life, parenting, and relationships. Here we are. We're fucking doing it.
I know.
Okay. Should we just jump right in?
Yeah. Who are you?
Oh my God. I forgot. I'm Jess. Pronouns she, her.
I'm Andie. Pronouns they, them.
And we are married. We've been married for a year and a half.
Great job.
That was good because I always forget everything.
You do.
Been married for a year and a half and together for 10
years.
Yeah, together for 10 years. That was a long time.
I know, it makes me feel old, actually.
Is that a decade?
It is, love.
Oh my God. I thought 12, but that's a dozen.
You're so cute.
Anyways.
All right, let's get in it.
A little life update. Should we life update?
Yeah, we can life update, actually.
Milo is 7 months old.
Yeah, we have a 7-month-old.
Which is wild to me because I feel like I birthed her yesterday.
I also feel like that, but I feel like I'm not allowed to say that because...
You didn't birth her, so...
Exactly.
But you can say it felt like yesterday. That's fair.
Yeah, no, it definitely did.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that we're closer to her being a year than...
No, I was just going to say that, and it makes me sick to my stomach. Like, of course I want her to grow. Like, that's a healthy developmental situation for a human being. But, like, the fact that I'm closer to her being one than me birthing her, like a newborn.
But I feel like also the first couple of months are just a blur, right? Like, it's just you're in survival mode.
Yeah,
you're trying to figure out how to live again.
I feel like we're just now kind of entering...
Oh, yeah.
The world again.
It's still shaky though.
Ooh. It is shaky. I do agree with that.
My floor is not stable yet.
We're doing life again. We've left our cave sometimes, like for this. We got a fucking babysitter today.
Granted, they're in the family.
Well, yeah, it's Grandma Nani.
It's Nani.
But it's still a big deal because we don't do that.
This is the second time we've left.
Yes.
Like, actually, like, we were in the car and I was like listening to 21 Savage and I was like, we've had it on a lower level. And then I was like, oh shit, Milo's not in the car.
Like we can turn that shit up.
Exactly.
Right. That's true.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was good. And also, I'm always in the back seat. Like, I'm backseat princess with Milo. And today I sat shotgun. That felt crazy. What else?
We're moving.
We're moving. Yeah, we're moving. So the long and short of it is that we had construction on our house. It went fucking terrible. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat that.
It was horrible.
It was horrible. We need to get everything basically redone. So we don't know how long it's going to take.
We've been living with Jessica's parents for the past year.
A treat.
It has.
It has been a treat. Like, it's a pleasure.
It has, right? And which is trippy. But I think it's because we've also grown up a little bit to, like, we know how to be good roommates for the most part. Like, I don't really know their side of it, but I think they like us.
They would attest that we are good roommates.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's also nice because Milo has gotten to grow up with her grandparents for, like, the first year of her life, which is that I think that's a really special bond that they've been able to create. So.
Yeah.
So we're moving?
We're moving into a rental, and we're going to have our own space back until our house is ready.
Yes, and we're very much looking forward to that.
Very much. It's going to be great. How's that water? Crispy? You hate ice water.
The Stanley Cup cult.
You will get eaten alive if you say anything negative about the Stanleys. Stanley himself will come for you. No, the stands of Stanley. That's the thing.
I'm gonna leave it alone, but
I'm sure it's the thing.
The water was great. Thank you.
Okay. My birthday's coming up.
Oh.
I'm really not like the toot birthday month, birthday week girl. No.
You're not.
No, I'm not. I just thought I would bring it up.
Did you think I forgot?
No, I know.
Okay.
I'm just like, maybe the world wants to know.
She's a Pisces. It's a really good birthday.
It's a good birthday. Also, it's my last birthday in my 20s, which is... I'm not okay.
It is a hard one to process, but like when we think about the fact that we've been together all through your 20s,
I know.
which is like your growing pains as a human.
That's very true. Yeah.
Like it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I met you when I was 19 or 19. Yeah.
19.
And then I'm going to be in the threes, and that just solidifies like adulthood, I feel like.
And you have a baby.
I have a fucking baby.
Like we're parents.
We're parents. That trips us out all the time. We'll get into that. It's fucking wild.
It is.
Okay, Andie, I heard you were on a show called The Traitors. Do we just dive in?
Yeah, it's funny because like a lot of people don't think that I knew what I was signing up for. The Traitors.
Right.
I did know I signed up for the Traitors.
But you didn't know what the Traitors was about.
Correct.
Like, you got 1 to 2 sentences about what the show could potentially be about.
Mm-hmm. I mean, realistically, like, I thought that I was going to play a murder mystery clue game in the Scottish Highlands.
Yep.
Literally thought that that's what I was going on. And there's going to be some deception, some meta, but it wasn't like, it definitely wasn't what I thought I signed up for.
No.
And that's me being real. So
Yeah.
I was also casted for the Circle originally. And then my audition got brought to the Traitors.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it happened. I didn't necessarily seek it out.
No, the funny thing is I seeked it out for you.
Is it sought?
I don't know.
Okay.
Don't come at me, anybody. I don't know what I'm saying most of the time.
No.
It's true. It's fine.
Okay, but that is a true story.
I always thought Andie should be on TV. I don't know why. I just had this it's like a gut thing. I don't know. What did I call you? The it factor. Aww. Dude, Andie has the it factor.
I love you for that.
I love you
I
too.
think you have the it factor too.
Thank you. But we're talking about you right now. But okay. I appreciate that. Okay. Say it again. I'm just kidding.
You have the it factor.
Thanks, babe. Okay. I have a list of questions from people who wrote into us who have a lot of questions about your time on the Traitors, and now that the reunion came out, and opinions. That's the truth. Now that the reunion came out, there's even more.
Yes.
Yeah, let's just dive in here.
It's so crazy because I'm like so nervous right now, even when we talk about it.
Don't get nervous. Are you sweating? I know you're sweating. It's fine. We all sweat. I read something though that might be a little validating for you. I read that a lot of introverts sweat. A lot of introverts sweat when they have to socialize.
Oh, yeah. And then also, you don't know this, but my heart is palpitating.
Is it? Oh, shit. No, I didn't know that.
No, and also, I have a binder on right now. It's such a fucking trip. It's just like, it's also like constricting. So, yeah, we all know how I feel about claustrophobia. Yeah. So, here I am.
If you watch The Traitors, you know how Andie feels about claustrophobia. Question 1. Are you ready for this? Do you need to do anything before we get going, or you're fine?
You want to do an EKG?
Okay, let's get in. How did you get recruited to be a contestant?
My wife signed me up for the Circle, and then I got asked to be on the Traitors.
Quick, that's actually what happened. So. Did you film before or after the UK version?
We filmed before. I'm not going to say how much time before, but we filmed before.
Yeah. Were you ever told how many Traitors there were? The burning question the world has for you.
No.
Wait, one more time. For the people in the back.
No.
Right.
We were never told how many Traitors there were. In our official game rules contract situation that I signed, it says at any time there can be up to 5, but they never gave us a minimum.
So I see a lot on the interwebs. People say, how did you not know that there was more Traitors at the fire pit because you guys only got 2 and there's 3? But the clarification for viewers.
We never knew.
Never knew the minimum.
You know, multiple of my castmates too, like some being in that castle, you just didn't know. You didn't know anything. It's so funny listening to people from the outside too, because they're like, oh, I would have known this, I would have known that. And it's like, be put in that situation. Like there's so many other layers to it too, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's the mental side of it. There's the vulnerable side of it. Cameras on you, pressure. Yeah, there's just so much. So it's like, go ahead and try to get casted first.
Who was the hardest faithful to see wrongfully banished?
I have two. I would say my first was Michael. They didn't show it, but I actually cried, of course. Everyone's probably like, of course you cried. I cried because he had shared something really, really personal to him I would like in that first couple of days, and that really just showed that he was being vulnerable with me. So when I turned against him, like that was really hard. And then Rachel got me through that whole bug experience. Like I thank her to this day. I know that I can get through things because of Rachel, which is crazy to me, right? Like, yeah, it's watching her go home, and then it was the same night of that too. That was like probably one of the most guilty feelings I've ever felt in my life.
Because she just like held your hand through this whole challenge, basically got you through it mentally, emotionally, and then you had to write her name down. It's fucked up. I mean, I get it. It's the game, but it's fucked up. Emotionally fucked up.
Yeah, that was a really hard one for me.
Yeah. Did you have conversations with each other about things other than the game?
I would say we had more conversations with each other about the stuff that was happening in our lives, and we were in the cars a lot. There was a lot of time for us to make a personal connection with people. But yeah, I would say we had way more conversations, like personal conversations, than we did like game conversations for sure.
What was your game plan going into the game, and did you stick to it the whole game? I remember we talked about this before you left, what your game plan would be, like, extensively. And then you got there, and it changed.
It's so hard for me because I'm such a person that goes off of a whim. I'm a very impulsive person. We know this.
I know.
So for me, it was, I'm going to do what feels right in the situation. You know what? I think this is a big part of it too, is I had just come out with my name being Andie. Mm-hmm. And these people, nobody knew me by my dead name. Right. Nobody, right? So they all knew me by Andie. So it was like, you know what? Maybe Andie isn't an introvert. Maybe Andie is this person that can have conversations and can like connect with people regardless of not necessarily having mutual interests, right? Like maybe I wasn't that way before because I was going through so much trauma, like coming out and like not knowing myself and all these things, right? So for me, I went in and I was like, I'm going to connect with every single person, regardless of who they are. And that was my game plan. And I did go all the way through with that game plan. And I guess that would be more of a social game plan than anything. But I'm glad that I didn't falter. I'm glad that I didn't, because it's easy. It's easy to make up a lie. It's easy to avoid situations, right, by manipulation. And I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to be real because it meant a lot to me to just be myself and represent a community that's underrepresented.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and also, like, you weren't there as my safety. Like, you are my soundboard. You're my, I don't even know. Like, you're so many things that I don't even know how to describe you. But you're just my safety. So going and doing this was extremely difficult because I couldn't even call you. Yeah, it was just me and my thoughts.
Just you. Usually I'm there to be like, hey, you should probably do this. You should do that. As your wife and your partner, you know? But yeah. It was just you out there. And you killed it. You did so good.
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome. If you were sent the invite late in the game to join the Traitors, would you have accepted?
I think I would. I think because with it being that late in the game, I had played as a faithful this whole time. And I feel like because of where we were at, I still thought the Traitors had a leg up in some situations. So I think there might have been more control with that. And I think I look at control as a little bit of stability. So I was like, okay, if I can have some control. And now that I think about it, if I would have been recruited, Suri and I would have taken that money hands down together. Yeah. Hands down.
Yeah. What's the thing, like kill or be killed kind of thing?
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Shocked by the ending. Did Suri give you any money? Thoughts about Andie Cohen questioning her about her winnings?
I never expected Suri to give me any money. Also it's in our rules. You can't give out your prize money.
Well, she won that money.
Fair and square.
Yeah.
Fair and square. Yeah. So it was like that had never even been a thought in my brain. So, no.
Do I wish she could share the money? Yes.
No, but look, she earned that money. Yeah. She
did what she had to for her family, and you would have done the same thing.
And that exactly.
Right? Would you have? Yeah.
I would have played a different game, I think.
Yes, of course, yeah.
But yes, at the end of the day, like we were there to get money, and she didn't. And look, and that's one of the things I talk about too is like I didn't know Suri's experiences. We never knew celebrities were going to be on this show. We thought we were going in with 20 civilians, right? So for me, I never thought that it would be like, oh, now I have to like prepare myself to go to mental warfare with people who have already won Big Brother, Survivor, Fear Factor, Amazing Race. Like that was never something that was in my brain.
What were the roundtables like?
So before roundtable, every night I pretty much went in for a MIV, which was like a confessional or diary room situation. And they would always ask me like, are you nervous? And I'd be like, no. I think the round table is the only time I felt safe, and that was because I was so
really?
Yeah, because that was the only time I was sure that nobody was voting for me because my relationship with everyone was so solid. So like I never even heard my name be brought up except one time, and that was straight to my face.
You weren't afraid of being like backdoored?
I wasn't, because like blindsided.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we can go with that.
When you say backdoor, I think of your bum.
I know. You know what? I regretted it when I said it.
Okay, but then you like doubled down.
Well, because moving on. This is not appropriate anymore. You weren't afraid to be blindsided.
I was not.
Okay.
Yeah, I was not. So roundtables were really intense. The ones that I was scared at were the ones that I knew people were gonna look to me to talk because of our conversations in the earlier day, like the Kyle situation. Oh, that was one of the most brutal roundtables because not only did I have it wrong, he finally put some trust in me and started talking to me, but because I was so solid with Suri, I just couldn't see any other way.
And did it feel too late?
It did because like he hadn't really confided in me yet, right? We just hadn't had those conversations. So when he came and took me aside, I thought like I saw it as a red flag rather than like he's actually putting some trust in me and confiding in me.
You thought he might have been like just trying to get votes or something to save himself.
But Kyle was a really, really difficult one because I really think if Kyle would have stayed in the game, Faithfuls would have won.
That's a really bold statement.
I believe it.
Do you want to expand on that?
I just think that he had it figured out. And I think if I would have listened to him about Suri or Cody, and we would have gotten one of them out that night, that would have solidified my trust in him. Do I think he might have gotten murdered? Matted?
Potentially.
For sure.
That's fair. Did they pick wardrobe for you? Or for everybody?
So we had wardrobe for missions because of like safety situations, but we got to send in all of our outfits a couple weeks before we flew out to Scotland, and all of my outfits were approved. So I was really stoked because I was not styled.
Yeah, you wanted to wear your own clothes.
All my own clothes, which was
Andie's
pretty
like
sick.
I was going to say like fashion guru.
I enjoy it. It's an outlet for me, for sure.
Did they pick some people's outfits?
Yes.
Okay. Could you ever quit a mission if it was too hard?
Yes, we had a safe word. Do you want to know what it was?
Yeah, I want to know what it was.
Haggis.
You don't have to whisper it. So, okay. If you could rewind time, would you do anything differently on the Traitors?
That's a loaded question because like I feel like everything that I did got me to the position that I was in at the end. Obviously the end I wish I would have picked up on the fact that Ari was dropping clues or trying to, right? Could you imagine if we actually did pick up on that clue and he took out Suri like that?
Shout out to Traitors UK.
Yeah,
right?
Kieran,
dude.
Parting gift.
Kieran
if you guys have not watched the UK,
yeah,
unreal. Like that was incredible. Sorry, Wolf.
yeah. Would you do any other reality TV shows? The Challenge, The Circle, Survivor, etc.
Let me ask my wife. Would I do any other?
That is the right answer. I would let you like I'm your keeper. I would let you if our life was at a good place. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I respect that because I left for the Traitors when Jess was in her third trimester. Second trimester.
Yep.
And that was really difficult. Like that's a whole other side of the reality show situation is the people that you leave behind and the things that you have to sacrifice when going to do a show. So yes, I would do another show as long as you were set up in the right way, Milo was taken care of, and you were good to go. I would like to do The Circle. I would love to do The Circle, the show that we originally tried to get me on. Also, the challenge would be really, really fun. And the competitive nature in me, like, yeah, I might cry, I might have my shit, but I'll do it. I push through.
Also, like, we love someone who's in touch with their emotions. So
I just heard this term, soft mask, and I asked Jess if I was that the other day.
To be fair, I don't know.
I don't really know what the term is either.
Let me do a little digging.
Okay.
I'll tell you if you follow
I never thought that I'd be okay saying that, though, either, because I never really saw myself as a soft person. But I also think that that's what trauma does to you.
Right.
Okay. We won't get into that.
Okay. How do you identify, and how has your experience been navigating your identity on the show and in the wider world?
I identify as trans non-binary. So it's interesting. When I went on the show, I was very vocal to my castmates, to production, everyone, about my pronouns, about my journey. It was kind of a hard pill to swallow being misgendered after the show because it wasn't addressed on the show. So when social media and like people were reaching out to me, they were misgendering me here, like all over, you remember. And that was really difficult to navigate because I had done so much work to be the person that I am. Yeah. And then to be misgendered by a lot of people on the interweb, that was a little detrimental to me for sure. But I honestly just try to lead with kindness. So even when people do mistake my pronouns, I don't jump down people's throats because I'm like, nobody wants to learn or understand in a moment that they're being corrected negatively. You know what I mean? Like,
but also, like, if they're not, you always say, if you don't have malicious intent,
exactly,
then we're all good. Like, just come back and be like, oh shoot, sorry, I said the wrong pronoun, and just try to fix it.
Exactly. No and I will say this: the people who did misgender me immediately corrected it,
and that's great.
And that
they caught themselves. And even if they didn't catch themselves, like,
it's all the intent, like I said. And I know that there was no like malicious intent towards me.
Yeah. What challenges have you faced during your time on the show, and how have you overcome them?
This show for me was like going to therapy, where you are forced to face the things that you don't want to face, the things that you've pushed so far back into your brain. That came up for me on this show a lot, right? Like the bug challenge. When those bugs were on me and stuck on me and biting me and stuck all places, that's panic mode too. Like I was having
anybody, to be fair, like I don't have some of the same sensitivities as you, and I would still be losing my absolute shit.
Yeah, so that was really difficult to just like face and like do it, and then do it on camera too, like.
And more specifically, the wheel.
Yeah, I have not been in a situation where I felt out of control on an object since I had been in a situation with. There's an incident with my brother when I was younger on a roller coaster, right? And that scared the shit out of me as a kid. So, I told you right away when we first started dating, don't do roller coasters.
It was sad to watch.
I mean, look, it's not like I I want to be that way, right? Like I'm sure roller coasters are great fun.
Yeah.
But for me, they are not. It's not okay. So that stuff all came forward. Plus, like I said, being claustrophobic, we had like 3 different harnesses on when we were on that wheel, and we're spinning so slowly that like all the blood is rushing to your head. Like I was just like going through it. So it wasn't that it was so scary.
Yeah.
It was just like I was going through things that I didn't know I had to go through.
You had trauma as a kid on a coaster.
Exactly.
And it was very uncomfy.
It was very uncomfy.
Yeah. But you pushed through for Milo. That was so sweet.
Oh, thank you.
That was so cute.
Yeah, I don't ever want her to like have something that she
be paralyzed
feels like
by fear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want that for her.
Mm-hmm. What has been your favorite experience or moment on the show so far, and why?
Oh wow. Dang.
If I may,
yeah, go for it.
I think it's making connections with people, because you don't do that a lot in your personal life, and this environment forced you to do that. And I know when you came home, you were like super stoked on that. You were like, damn, I really put myself out there, and because I was my true authentic self, like look what came of it. All these people like loved you for you, and that was really cool. Next question.
No, that was really good. Thank you. And that was validating for sure to like go somewhere and be myself for the first time and not have anybody like judge me for it. That was cool.
One more.
Got it.
2 words. Harry Potter.
The intro scene for the Traitors, we actually got to ride on the Hogwarts Express, which was mic drop right there, right? Like that was insane. So that was probably one of the coolest moments. And then also the fact that I got to be in a helicopter. I never really wanted to be in a helicopter, but then they took us, before things got crazy on the last mission, they took us on a little bit of a scenic tour. And Scotland, that high up, we saw like stag running across the mountains, and it looked like we were on a different planet, like almost Avatar-ish, which was really cool. And I did get sick in that helicopter. They don't show that either. Ari was patting my back. Sari was like holding my imaginary hair while like stroking the back of my head, saying, "It's okay. I'm going to steal your money."
Oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, facts.
Speaking of Sari, are you and Sari still friends? This is like another burning question.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Sari and I immediately forgave her, literally on the finale, right? Immediately forgave her. It was a lot for me to process in that moment, and there was a lot of things afterwards that I had to process. And then when you watch the show back and you hear your family, your friends, and all these other people having these outside opinions about like how she betrayed you and like how you should feel all these ways, like, and then the reunion happened, and I got to kind of say how I felt about everything. And I just needed to go through that moment of like saying, hey, this is everything that happened to me as well on the show. And I got to say that to her and process that with her. And that's all I really wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do is like just make sure that it was good on me. And Sari knows, like, even before then, that I love her. She's still fam. Like, she deserved to win that. And the thing that makes me mad too sometimes though is we're filming 16, 18 hours out of the day. As a viewer, people are seeing an hour, 60 minutes of that day, right? So same thing with the reunion. We filmed for 3.5 hours and it was a 48-minute reunion or something like that, you know? So in that same breath where I was able to process and say the things of how I felt towards Sari, I also said, you deserve to win. Like, you played a masterful fucking game, and that's it. Like,
and of course they don't show that part.
No, because they want, you know, drama, right? But at the same time, I'm like, me and Sari have never, there's been time where I've needed time to process certain things.
By the way, as anybody would, if you are inches, like, you could have touched that pot of gold right in front of you, and you obviously did not get the money, but you thought you had the money. You thought you secured the bag. It was it. And to process not having that money and not winning, I mean, anybody would need to.
Yeah, I mean, like, and the thing is, too, is when you process stuff, you don't know the time of when you're going to process it. So a lot of stuff was brought back up when I went to that reunion that I thought I had worked through. And I needed to just, like, say my piece. And I was able to do that. But at the end of the day, Suri deserved to win the Traitors. Suri played all of us. She's a mastermind. And it's not only that, she did it after her experiences of being screwed over on multiple shows, right? Like, so hats off.
When Suri said, "I love you, remember that," was that not a clue for you in the moment that she was going to backstab you?
I was not processing anything in that moment. That's all I can say.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Things happen so freaking quick.
There's so many emotions. And until you are in a pressure cooker of a finale episode thinking that you won money and that you're done, you're out of this castle, this fucking castle that the walls were talking to us at the end of that thing, the mental exhaustion that we went through, we had psych on call for a reason. I'll put it that way. You know, like... It was a mentally taxing situation. So, no, I was not processing the hints Ari was dropping. I wasn't processing Suri saying, "I love you, no matter what."
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No.
Right over the head.
Right.
They say trust no one. Why did you trust Suri?
The game is called the Traitors. But... up to 15 other people in that game are faithfuls. And it's up to you as a faithful if you want to play the game in a lying, manipulative way as well. But I chose to go in and play it and make genuine relationships with people. So when it says trust nobody, you still have to trust people in order to get to the end, because you can't go in there and just rely on nobody. You can't. That would actually be fascinating. If somebody was able to do that, hats off to them. I'm not going to falter on how I played that game because it got me to the end. Yeah.
What was the emotional recovery like after the show? Like your mental health?
So I avoided the show right when I got home mentally because Jess was about to give birth to our kid. Immediately after I got home, we had our baby shower, and any of my friends can attest to this. I was so detached from that baby shower, and that was really hard because that was for our kid. But I had literally just gotten home like a week before that.
Yeah, there was lots of trauma lingering. You had to take breaks and walk away. I'd be like, "Hey, family!" Like I was like, "I got this. I'll socialize for the two of us. You go take a walk."
I smoked a lot of marijuana.
That's very
I smoked
true.
so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would say it took me like 3 months to like take the time to actually start addressing things. And then I started working with therapists. The show does offer therapy. So like they would check in here and there.
And then you have your own.
Yeah, exactly. And I have my own therapist. So I'm just trying to take care of my mental health.
As you should. As everyone
For your sake as well.
For my sake as well. What is something that wasn't shown on the Traitors that you wish was?
I really wish they would have shown everybody's story. I think every person on the cast, civilian cast, us normies especially, we all have a story. We all have a reason we were casted. We all have something that is important to us and what we're working for and striving for. And a lot of my castmates are doing amazing things.
So they're amazing people.
Exactly. Like, and I just wish that they, showed. And I think that was a big thing with the UK version too, is that you got to know the characters. I say characters. You got to know the people as humans, like who they were. Same with the Australian version. Like you actually got to connect with the people. And I think that they really missed that opportunity with our cast, because everyone on our cast is incredible. I love my civilian normie crew. I love you guys.
And the last question was it worth it?
It was worth it. That's a loaded question because of all the things that I went through, but the personal growth alone of going on this show and going on this show as my authentic self and getting to be and live and just exist as me was one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done. And I feel like I came back with a new sense of confidence as well of who I was. And I feel like the growth I made on that show not only is going to make me a better parent, like the things that I've faced and had to go through, like I proved that I can get through my shit.
Yeah.
It's going to make me a better parent and it's going to make me a better partner for you. So yes, despite losing 250K, I learned a lot about myself.
Yeah.
And let me just say this. This could be the beginning of a villain origin story.
Are you a villain coming out of this?
I might be.
Time will tell.
This game taught me a lot. And I also learned from a mastermind, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I went to the end with a mastermind, got played, gave her grace, was a little salty at the end, but was able to look at what she did and respect her for it. Watch out any competition show because I literally just got the blueprint.
You leveled up.
Firsthand.
Yeah. Thank you, Suri.
Thank you.
I guess, right? You did it.
I did it.
Traitors Q&A.
Thank you. You did a really good job producing, kind of like that was.
I did a good job asking questions?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I felt comfortable with you.
Well, I would hope so.
I know, but still, it's a little intense.
I love you. I'm very proud of you. I think you did an amazing job. I think you handled yourself beautifully on the show.
Thank you.
And what people saw is what you get. I think that's
it
you.
is.
Yeah.
It is. And that is one thing I will say, taking away from the show, is you saw a slice of me, but you saw a very real slice of me.
Yeah.
That is something that family and friends also said to me, is that we were watching you on TV.
Totally.
And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. It was awesome to watch you, and I think you kicked ass.
Thanks, babe.
And I love you. Okay. I don't know how to end this, though.
Let's say this. This was a teaser episode.
Yeah. Technically, our first episode is to come. We just figured because the Traitors reunion just aired, we should just get it rolling.
Yeah. Just get it rolling.
Yeah. But next time, if you don't know who we are, you're going to find out who we are. Okay?
That was good. That was cute.
Okay.
The queer social is coming at you.
It's coming.
We are going to talk about all things
life, love, relationships, our cute ass baby, family life, parenting,
and everything in between.
We just talk about it all.
Follow us at 2 Babes 1 Barn and the Queer Social.
Till next time, I guess.
Till next time.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.